I should have.
Parker Snare, one of the great gym teachers of all time.
Hey, Gary, thanks for having me on here.
Of course, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I appreciate your messaging. It's helped me be a better dad, a dentist, and my company, Dental Nachos. But I have a special person, the most important person to me. I want to have on and say thanks to you real quick.
Please.
Hey, Gary Vee.
How are you?
Great. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I'm Mary, otherwise known as Mrs. Nacho. I just wanted to thank you for being such an inspiration to our company, but also us personally. We love your message on kindness, and you're just awesome.
Thank you so much for saying that. I wish you well. Thank you
so much.
Awesome.
Welcome.
So, Gary, I've founded Dental Nachos. Our Facebook group has 25,000 members. Hopefully they're watching in. Your patience can wait, guys, for 5 minutes. So one of the things that I have a challenge with Dental Nachos, well, first, I actually want to thank you for the best thing that happened during the pandemic. About a year ago, I was at the beach in New Jersey. I'm a 42-year-old from New Jersey, and I signed up for your community text platform. And I said, I need this for Dental Nachos. I see Gary Vee has it, Mark Cuban, my favorite comedian, Sebastian Maniscalco. But I made a little thing for you here in Philly, in the movie Philadelphia. Explain it to me like I'm a 4-year-old. So gratitude plus patience plus kindness plus document not produce equals success. Because we were patient, and a month ago we got approved for community. So now I can communicate with my Dental Nacho group all the time. So our community is built on helping dentists make big life decisions that dental school ignores. You know, how to buy a practice, how to find your first job, what I call the circle of dentisting life. And
makes sense.
Thanks. We built out this platform a lot like Peloton, in-person, CE courses, live stream, and recorded. But everything's shut down right now for in-person. And my challenge for you this morning, I think is a tough one, is how do I reach dentists in caves? Dentistry is a cave profession. It means we're isolated, we're stressed, we're in our own islands. And the 50-plus crew, we have a Facebook page, Instagram, LinkedIn, I even joined TikTok, all these different platforms. But how would you reach the 50-plus audience for Dental Nachos?
I mean, it's email, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
What's interesting about dentists, and the reason I'm on here and always lead with gratitude, is one of my sponsors, Zyrus, was on the 4Ds. I was walking around Philadelphia. I said, hey, that's my sponsor. And just to show your strategies pay off. So they called me. You told them to bring their dentist content that had nothing to do with their product. So they interviewed me, and I said, you don't have to pay me, but you just got to get me an intro to Gary Vee and Mike Wong. I want to thank him for doing that. But what's interesting about dentists, is that they don't really use a lot of, like, my dad was a dentist. I worked for 11 years before he passed away, unfortunately. He was an awesome dad, but he never really used email or LinkedIn because dentists are this craft profession.
I get it. I mean, look, if you can't reach, if someone's unreachable, they're unreachable. Like, you know, if you need to do direct mail, if you need to drive to their practices, like, that's just part of the game. I would argue that an enormous percentage of dentists, even the old school dentists, are at least now on email.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with him. We had a nacho delivery team that went around Philadelphia and surrounding areas and would drop off nachos fun for the office because a lot of times their team gets them involved.
I would also argue that the 50-year-old doesn't need your service the way you pitched it as much because, you know, they could have used it 25 years ago. It probably would have been epic for them. But I would argue that Instagram and TikTok focusing on the 18 to 22-year-old in-school dentist is just a lot of times people overvalue someone they can't get and undervalue the opportunity on something they're getting.
Gotcha. I agree.
You see where I'm going? Like, it might take the same energy to get one fucking 59-year-old dentist as it does to get 88 dental students. And by the way that you positioned it, at least by the way I just heard it, for me, it makes so much sense for a 21, 26, 19-year-old dentist want to be, to have this be part of their life more than the 57-year-old who's already kind of like figured a lot of that out.
It's a lot of what we talk about are dentists and core. I heard you talk about soft tissue yesterday or the day before. So we talk about developing your core of your mind, how you speak, and your clinical hand skills. So that's really resonating with people even before dental school. But in this circle of dentisting life, the older dentist needs the babysitter. They need the associate or the dentist to come in and work with them so they can get more time off. And that's leading to some of the stress. So I'm trying to figure out a way to connect them.
I mean, look, I think direct mail print, 4 or 5 page pamphlet with a huge URL I mean, you know, even the most old school can go to YouTube. So I think if you say, look, text us now that you have community, text us at this, like the front of the pamphlet, I would have like a huge phone number and say, look, text us any question, we'll answer it. Any question.
Yeah. I like that.
You see where I'm going? And then maybe a very simple URL, like maybe you get a URL like, you know, nachodentist.com/watch, something, or just something very simple. Those two on the front of 4-page pamphlet, direct mail to their you know, office. I still think you can also get a lot done on Facebook and LinkedIn, more than you would think.
Well, we have that Facebook group of 20,000 people, and we have
that's very different than running an ad to 50 to 90-year-olds in South Jersey, Philly area, with the ad being, do you know anybody who's a dentist, who's a 45-year-old dentist or older, and they're passing on that video? That's a very different execution than having a group.
I like that our nacho stars, the 50-year-olds that are in the group, are saying things like, I wish I had this when I was a young dentist. Maybe I can get one of them to star in that Facebook ad for me.
Or you can start a referral program where whatever the economics are in your business, you give a 25% lead gen fee to the 50-year-olds, and they just start getting all their own friends.
Dentists do like stuff like that. I know my dentist people, they will enjoy that. That's awesome. And let me ask one last thing. As the leader of a company, kind of working with me is like working with a friendly tornado. I have a lot of new ideas. So how do you not overwhelm your team with too many new ideas while they're still working on your existing ideas?
By not judging them when they're not executing on certain ideas.
They're going to like hearing that. They're watching it, and they're really going to enjoy hearing you say that.
You know, I throw a ton at my team, and then 3 weeks later recall something I threw at them, and it hasn't even started. And I have empathy because I know they're going super hard. So it's you continue with your ideas. It's that you need to make sure that you're not burning them out and judging them too much. And I think you do that with kindness when it hasn't started. It's understanding, you know?
But one of our clips that you did is I changed my mind. They play that all the time in Dental Nachos. I say, see, Gary Vee does that. So I appreciate that. And I had Mark Evans on, Gary Vee. I sent him this shirt, a nacho shirt.
I love it. I love it.
At headquarters, you have at least 50 of these somewhere that we sent you. Track one down. So I really appreciate it, Gary Vee.
Take care, Paul.
Thanks so much.
Let's keep going. Some good information there. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Donna Lewis Housel, great to see you. Mike Dreams, what's up with you? Garrett Glenn, yes, I needed to hear that. Thank you. You are welcome. One of the great things about Tea with Gary Vee is how many of the answers actually resonate for people that are watching. Let's also continue to share. Please share this on Facebook and Twitter on the retweet or the share button, on LinkedIn share button, or grab the URL and post it. I want to get some newbies in here. Newbies are fun. Let's keep it moving.
Hey, Gary Vee, how's it going?
I'm great, my friend. How do you pronounce your name?
Koshal.
Koshal, such a pleasure.
It's an honor to meet you, man. I've been following you for about 6.5, 7 years now. Literally,
where are you from?
I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I was born in New Orleans. My parents were from India, but I was born in the States.
Fantastic. What can I answer for you?
So, first of all, I obviously do have some questions, but more so than the questions, the main reason I reached out was I really wanted to start a relationship with you, really wanted to just build and get to really, ultimately, you've impacted my life more than you'll ever know. So just being on the show and being able to talk to you means a lot to me.
Thank you.
It started off, I run a social media agency. We're a team of about 25 people. I've been doing this for about 6 years now. We shifted to a social media agency back in 2016, so I've been doing that for about 4 years. The name of the social media agency is Socially, and we're based in Birmingham, Alabama. So I've talked to tons and tons of members of your team. Scott, who was actually a member of Vayner back in the day, your CFO, he was actually a mentor to us. Still is a mentor to us. And I've talked with James in the Sasha group. We even worked with Jesse out of Vayner Chattanooga. I've just, we've been around your circle for a very long time. But one of the main things at the social media agency that, we've had issues with is we've had opportunities to talk to, Fortune 500 clients, Fortune 100 clients. But for some reason, we just can't get past a certain barrier. Whether it's they look at us as too small of a shop, whether we don't have the recognition, we don't go out there and win the awards that these big agencies do. And since we focus strictly on social, We produce content. We'll do the influencer, we'll manage the platforms, community management, run ads, all of that. But we will only do social. We don't dabble into the whole digital space. And I think sometimes that shies us away from big brands. So that's an issue we've been having as far as like getting in front of the door or getting even the introduction.
And it is a couple things. One, the market absolutely has evolved. When I started selling social in 2009, they didn't even know what it was. So the thought of somebody being a specialty, I think one of the ways to think about big brands is there's a term in big brands called orphan brands, small brands that they give no money to. And they're usually big brands that we all know, but they're just a Procter or Unilever or Pepsi. They're like the 18th biggest brand, which is like a huge root beer that we all know, or a huge pasta sauce we all know, but small in their world, hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, not billions, or 50 million. I think that's a place where you could win a scope. So I think getting educated on that part of the portfolio, and then when you go in for the pitch, you solely focus on that. You're not getting Pepsi. You're not getting Coke right now. It's just not where it's at. So I think you go there. And I also think about, look, take it from somebody who does business with that, like, with Vayner and Sasha. There's a lot of great things to be focused on the small and mid-market, clients. And I think sometimes ego is what drives people to want to do the big brands. The budgets are bigger, but the profit isn't necessarily bigger. And the vulnerability is enormous. When you get fired from a big brand, sometimes it's an enormous percentage of your business. So I would focus on orphan brands. I would also, and I did this, I would also consider doing it for free.
Yeah, and we've pitched that 100%. I've watched you a long time, so we've done it. We've produced free content. We had this concept of where we literally pitch ideas. We did this for Dick's Sporting Goods because they used to be one of our clients. So we would just pitch a content buffet. It's a bunch of different ideas. We don't price them anything. Whatever they like, we'll do it for them at a price that we negotiate. And we still.
I think the other thing you focus on is you take advantage of where you're located. I think you really focus on Southeast, Midwest. Like, I think you play in the middle. I would really focus on those middle companies, Minnesota, even Chicago, definitely companies that are in Nashville. I would really focus on those companies as well.
Okay. So we've done one thing that I want to mention is, so outside of, Socially In, a part of Socially In, which will lead to my second question, is we've started a event business where we actually have a social media event once a year. It's called the Southern Social Summit. So it's in Birmingham. It's going to be in Atlanta eventually because we're moving to Atlanta. But essentially, it's an event around social media, just educating the community about what they can be doing on social media, how they can help their business, even if you're a freelancer, what they can be doing to help the freelancing business, and just really educational. We don't really make much money out of it, but we just want to promote people. We had about 500 people last year, and this year it'll be digital, obviously because of COVID. So we're expecting it to be a lot bigger. So outside of that, the second question I had was, an idea that we had was we want to do a staffing agency strictly around social media jobs.
Smart.
Obviously to tailor client potential.
Yeah, smart. A lot of people want. Yeah, smart. I like that idea. We think a lot about Vayner recruiting. I'm surprised I haven't launched it yet. I mean, people just desperately need better talent. And so I think there's something there.
Okay, because I saw it from some of your intern program where they would get other jobs at major agencies.
100%.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's amazing. And the empathy that you had to show, like, I built this person. I showed them what they got, and they're able to go out there and do what they love. That's amazing,
Yep,
and
how we do that.
One last thing. I know you have a bunch of people to talk to. That leads me to one last thing about things that I love. And the main thing that I really wanted to talk to you about was one thing you talked about on your content was people that make very little money, $50,000, $60,000, but they're really happy and they're able to show that.
And by the way, $50,000 to $60,000 is not very little money. It's and I know where you're going. This is not a razz. This is more of a conversation. It's that I'm focused on, which is everybody thinks about a millionaire. Everybody thinks the bottom of kind of doing something is 100,000 when the medium income is 40,000. I'm fascinated about happiness. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I put out content. Obviously, it's not as much as you say. So you look at my social media, you'll probably shit on me. But ultimately, when I put out this happiness, I'm showing them, I do right now. I preach about how happy I am. I don't have tons and tons of money in the value of society or what society thinks is success, but ultimately my happiness is success. And I put that out there. But how can I, and maybe they don't need to listen, but how can I make them listen or show them that outside of just saying happiness is it, that's what really matters?
99.9999% of the world doesn't listen to me. That's your answer.
Yeah.
It's not about making people listen is more of a subconscious selfish act. It's like you do the right thing. You know, somebody on Twitch has said this is really cool that Gary Vee is doing this with his time. Like,
right.
You do the right thing and you move, right? Like I get it, and listen. I like people being selfish. They should care about themselves and their family. I also think sometimes it's really great to it's kind of like, of course all lives matter, but let's focus on Black lives. Of course we should be selfless and be kind people, but it's okay sometimes to be selfish, and it's okay sometimes to be 100% selfless. You know, one of the things I think that really works for me is when I make my content, I'm in completely the mindset of selflessness. You know, so many people are like, you know, what are you doing with tea with Gary? You know, Gary, What are you doing with tea with Gary Vee? What's the strategy there? I'm like, to help people.
Right. Yeah.
To bring value to, like, you know, COVID's heavy, the times are heavy, coming in the morning. You know, to me, 9 to 10 a.m. is the worst time. Like, the day has started, I feel anxiety. But I also know it's a great time for a lot of people because it gives them that pep, that positive reinforcement, you know?
Last question, because I know the first two were a little bit selfish, you know, running my business, but ultimately I was also thinking, how can I help the audience that's watching? By
doing it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Awesome.
Appreciate it, brother. Talk to you soon. Love you back. Stay well.
All right, you too.
Alone, Dustin, I literally slept 10 hours last night.
Jealous.
And somebody in the comments was like, "You look tired, Gary." And I'm like, man, because everybody thinks, you know this. I'm a big fan of sleep, but I talk a lot about going hard while you're awake.
Yeah.
But I always think about, like, DNA. Like, I've got the hardcore Eastern European, like no matter, like, even when I was like 19, like the bag thing under my eyes, and I always like. And my skincare routine is all time worst. I think I've like washed my face once. So, like, you know, like, it's just really funny because when I see that stuff, I'm like, wait till you see because of my uncle, my grandfather pictures. I'm like, wait till you see me in 10 years. I look 90.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
What up?
What's up,
Gary?
What's good?
It's so funny because I have like a whole gang of people watching because I've been like manifesting this moment for like the past couple months and telling my friends every day, like, yeah, wait till I get on tea with Gary Vee. So they're all like watching today. So you were excited about the newbies. So like there's a whole gang of people that are like super excited to be here today.
That's good.
So I have a couple questions, just two like quick ones if that's okay. So a little backstory. When I was 20, I kind of like dropped out of college and then I got pregnant with my son. And me and a few of my friends, I asked them if they like wanted to start this mom group. And so we kind of started this mom group and turned it into a nonprofit, and it like really blew up. And it was like this amazing thing and a lot of fun and probably like still one of my greatest accomplishments. And COVID kind of took that and like put it to a halt. Like we couldn't meet, we couldn't do anything. And actually, like, I guess, like, in that time period, so over the last, like, couple months, I kind of found, like, a new passion. And so I started doing, like, DIY projects and, like, furniture flips and stuff like that. So I ended up...
I love the furniture flips.
Yeah. So it's been really cool, and, like, people are, like, really into it. And so, like, I don't know, I guess I kind of feel bad about, like, abandoning, like, my old passion, but also...
You can't apologize for the truth.
True that. And it was kind of becoming more like a chore rather than like, you know, something that I was like more excited to do.
And by the way, not everything in life has to be so absolute. That's like the biggest problem right now in our society. Everything's like, you're bad, you're good. Everything's so binary, and there's like no room for like a little compromise. And And that's what I think about your situation right now. You don't have to completely bounce on the moms group. You could just turn it into something that you check in once a month on. Or it's an every 6 week thing now instead of an everyday thing.
That is true. We do run like a private group that's still up, and people still like can get advice and things like that in there.
And you can make a video and hop in there and say, or write in there. I don't know how it's structured, and be like, "Yo, listen, I'm evolving. This is what I'm about right now, but this is forever something I love, and I'm going to come here every 6 weeks, and I'm going to hang for 3 hours, and anything that I was bringing to the table before, if I could bring during that time, we're good."
True that. So to expand like a little bit more on that, like I guess like my personality as a whole is like I'm kind of like a giver, so like I feel like I like give like constantly, and I feel like you're a giver too. Like how do you? Because like I give my all at work all day. I come home. I have 2 kids, so I like give my all to them, my friends, my family, like just constantly like, and then like after they go to bed, I'm trying to like work on this like new passion, and like how do you find the balance? Because I know that you're like a giver too. Like, how do you pour from an empty cup, like at the end of the day?
It's not empty and it's probably this is what works for you too. Like the giving is your energy, right? Like when I give, I feel alive. And when I give, I don't expect anything in return. So I'm rarely disappointed from the giving. And then I think the last layer of that cake is I don't judge myself. Like if I go 3 months and I want to get something done and it's not progressing because I've got nothing in the cup because I gave too much over the last 100 days, then that's okay. I mean, that's happening a lot to me right now. Like, between, the business and making sure family and friends are okay, and between the All In Challenge where we raised almost $60 million, and between, there's just so, being there for so many friends that are really struggling right now. So many friends, contemporaries and, acquaintances are struggling, just heavy, right? Like yesterday, there was that report about like the pig flu in China, and just like some of my friends were just like, I give up. And I'm like, okay, relax. When you're the emotional strength for a lot of people, it's daunting. And so what ends up happening is if I didn't get to something over the last 3 weeks, 6 weeks that I needed to financially, professionally, emotionally, I just know it's okay. I think a lot of people beat themselves up. Like I could see you being like, damn, I didn't register my daughter for camp. I fucked up, or shit. And I'm kind of like, I'm just trying out here. And I think it's self-love, and it's being practical about, when you're giving all day, sometimes something's going to drop.
That makes sense.
I think balance is in the eye of the beholder. Everyone's like, got to get that work-life balance down. I'm like, that's individual.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a different point of view on work-life balance. And I'm all over the place, right? Like last night I slept 10 hours. A week ago, or last week, I stayed up to 2 o'clock in the morning and looked up sports cards and woke up at 6. I just don't think life is as binary as people think it is, and I'm just comfortable navigating it,
For sure. Okay, so then my other question, so I've been into the flipping and all of that. So I started a page called This Simple Flipping Life. 'Cause it's supposed to be about minimalism, and then taking what you have and kind of flipping it, and DIY renovations and things like that. But I already kind of naturally had a little bit of a following on my personal pages. And so I was kind of torn between should I just do it on my personal pages?
I'm a fan of that.
Okay. I was I don't know, cause I don't know if I should. Okay. So my end goal is to flip houses and to show people how to flip houses. So I don't know if I should build a brand around that too, or just
no. The brand, Kristen, the brand is you. Look at your handle. Life is Kristen. Life ain't one fucking dimension. You already got the name. I'm putting out wine. I'm putting out sports cards. I'm putting out business. I'm putting out garage sales. I'm putting out all sorts of shit on my platform. People really think it's a niche game. I don't. I mean, everyone's got a different point of view, but I don't see it that way. I really don't. I think you mix it all, and some people and people don't listen. When I went from, can you imagine this? When I started talking about business on my page, after I did wine content for 3 years before I did any business content, everybody was just yelling at me yo, stay in your lane, wine boy. Don't talk about business. Like, people just, like, this isn't going to work. You're going to fail. Like, stick to what you know. And I was laughing. I'm like, you don't know me. I know a ton of shit. And you know a ton of shit. And you're going to have different interests because I can tell the way you're talking. And that's fucking amazing. That's what makes it interesting.
Thank you. I'm sure those people that were hating in the comments are probably still hating in somebody's comments.
Listen, hate is the byproduct of somebody who's unhappy with their own life. We should stop hating our haters, and we should start loving our haters.
Yeah.
I mean it. I have a crazy relationship with the people that hate me. I actually have incredible amounts of compassion and sympathy and empathy. Like, the thought to take time out of my day to try to drag somebody else down or make them feel bad, that blows my mind. I've got zero seconds for that shit. Like, I'm trying to spend every second I can to make people happy and feel good. I can't even imagine the deep insecurity, the bad parenting, the unlucky circumstances, the pain. I mean, to really want to go to somebody's fucking account and try to make them feel awful too. And notice how the key word there was too.
Yeah.
There's nobody who's happy and content who's going into the comments hating. We're going to need to find a way to be compassionate. I see people blocking and deleting hate. Don't block and delete. That's your own insecurity of you not being able to deal with something that might be making you feel uncomfortable. I mean, this is about going to a higher place. I roll with deep compassion for my haters. You have time to worry about my life when I don't even know your name? That's not good. I want it to be better for you.
They say if you don't have any haters and you're not doing something right too. So,
but that's street talk to like pump someone up. I'm coming at it from love talk. I'm coming at this from a totally different place. I don't need haters or cheerers to tell me I'm winning. I know I'm winning. I don't need any fucking validation from the outside, pro or con. I'm actually talking about genuinely caring about other human beings, especially the ones that are most trying to hurt you. That's on some different mental shit. And that is what I think is the next step that we need.
I agree.
Awesome.
Can I get a follow too?
Hell yeah.
My fiance was like, he's not going to follow you. I'm like, dude, Gary's totally going to follow me.
What's his name?
His name is Branton. Tell him he's a hater.
What's his name?
Branton.
Branton?
Yeah.
Branton, you lost this one, bro. You lost this one.
Thanks, bro.
I got you. Man, you got a real page going. Good for you.
That was like, I just started trying too. Like, that was like naturally just my page. Like literally. I probably posted like 5 times in like the past 2 days because I knew I was going to be on here too. I was like, I have to get it together. But the rest of that is literally just like, I literally just started trying. My TikTok bio says Gary Vee made me do it too.
I love it. I wish you well. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Man, that was a good little moment there. I've been really thinking a lot about this. There's so much anxiety and hate right now in the world. We're on tilt, and people are just looking to fight, looking to tear down, looking to blame somebody. It's a real heavy time, and there is only one answer, which is compassion and empathy. And that doesn't mean that there are systematic things that need to change and things of that nature, but people are selling fear or they're selling judgment. Right now, everything is fear or judgment, and neither, fear or shame, excuse me. It's fear or shame right now. It's fucking fear or shame. Just not working. Let's keep it moving.
Hello there. Hey, Gary Vee. Good morning.
Hey, Brandon. How are you?
Pretty good. Truly grateful for you offering these interaction experiences, man. There's so much uncertainty in these transitional times of self-growth, and I've gained so much insight, potent motivation, and value from your content. So thank you very much.
Got you.
Awesome. As a just going to ask you just one question. As a 35-year-old departing a life of hospitality and restaurants, I'm inspired to sort of like sample the waters, as you say, to a lot of 20-year-olds. And I'm asking, how do I negotiate the feelings that, I don't have enough time to try these new things out, to fast track my programs and certifications, sort of to compensate for lost time and need to make a decision like immediately?
No. You're wrong.
It's good to hear it.
At 34 years old, I started my life all over and had nothing. A lot of people are very confused by my story. I came into my dad's business. I worked my fucking face off from 22 to 34. I built that from a $3 to a $60 million business. Me. I never got paid more than $100K because in family businesses, you just kind of put all the money back in the business. Right. And then I left at 34 and had dick because it was my mission to give back to my parents. I was proud to build that business for my parents, but I left with nothing. I love when people try to throw hate back to the last thing, like, fuck this guy, his dad gave him $3 million. No, my dad had a business doing $3 million, right. Top line revenue, not profit. I fucking went in there and built it. Where I had to get a friend, big shout out Mike Lazarow from Buddy Media, to let our office be in one of his conference rooms because we couldn't afford rent.
Crazy. Okay.
Now, just to put the full clarity for everybody, because I was making 40, 60, 70, 80,000 a year in my 20s, I lived what I give advice on. I saved my money. I had a dog shit fucking car. I had a dog shit clothes. I didn't go out. I didn't do shit. I saved. And so then at 32, when Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr came along, I was able to take the money and put it all in that and bet the farm on it, which is why I had no money. I was saving. But then right before we started Vayner, a year earlier too, I put all that money to work on this big risk I was taking that everybody said I was crazy on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. That obviously worked out. So I ate dog shit for a decade, which gave me the savings. I lived that $65,000 a year life, and then I put it to work and I made the right bet.
Gotcha.
The point of that story is really to tell you that, like, I basically started over at 34.
Okay. Yeah.
So when I hear people worried at 26 and worried at 20, now I came with my experience. I had the experience of learning how to build a business because I fucking had talent. But most people that have my kind of talent from 22 to 34, they're named fucking LeBron James and they make billions. Or they're like one of the founders of a company that sold a ton of business. I did it for the family. I lived my truth. And I don't regret it. At the time, in my early 30s, there was some resentment, But the reality is now it's the best thing I ever did. I did the right thing by my folks. I did the right thing for my soul. And I'm proud of how I did it. And now it allows me to tell you right at this moment, like, you're a child, bro.
Cool,
what are we talking about here, bro? You're a kid.
Yeah.
Don't compare. When I was 27 years old and working the Christmas season, I had to be on the floor, the store, because usually I would be downstairs or upstairs once we built a new store and be on the computer selling wine. But during December, I had to go downstairs because it was too busy. And my friends would come, that I went to high school with, would come to the liquor store, the wine store, and they would buy a case of champagne, and I would ring them up at the cash register, cashier, and then I would grab the case and take it outside and put it into their car. Their BMW sometimes, because some of my friends were good students and kind of went to Wall Street or did some shit. Right. And when I tell you, there was never a moment in that entire story I just told you, think about the humility and patience and confidence that is needed to be the stock boy, be the cashier, and be the servant that brings out the box to your high school friend's car and not envy it, but use it as motivation, as inspiration, as focus. So don't worry about what some 23-year-old's doing. That has nothing to do with you. That was the biggest problem of everyone getting so hyped on Zucks or Kevin Systrom or Travis with Uber, Instagram, and Facebook. They were incredible entrepreneurs and did transcendent stuff, but their life had nothing to do with you. That's the problem with like the prior conversation where the wonderful young gentleman said, very little money, 50, 60,000. 50, 60,000 people rip their arms off for. Half the people here watching right now would die to make 50, 60,000 a year, right? But would they?
Absolutely.
Because if they're making 58 and they don't like it, is it better to make 42 and love it? Like, to me, that's just the whole game, man. Listen, I'm at the top of my game, well on my way to all-time stuff. And I'm like sitting here debating if I want to retire and quit everything and just become a baseball card dealer. I'm being dead fucking serious.
Right. Uh-huh.
If I didn't love Vayner and Gary Vee so much doing all this stuff, and I'm still like having weird thoughts this week.
Gotcha.
On some real talk.
Gotcha. I'm hearing all of that, man. I really appreciate that. Just saying it's okay to just allow that leg room to happen in your 30s because
the 30s are early, bro. I feel young as shit at 44.
Yeah. I don't know what the pressure is in the 30s game or something. The self-growth phase.
The pressure is society made rules. Your parents, your friend, your 36-year-old, good friend from 5th grade who's on kid number 3 and has a second house. Like, the pressure is envy and caring about other people instead of focusing on your own shit.
Cool.
It's the Joneses.
Yeah. I hear you, man. Awesome. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Gary.
Talk to see you.
Awesome.
Really appreciate you, bro. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Dustin.
Yes, sir.
There's some real shit. Can we get the team to clip some of this shit and put it on the gram?
We're trying.
Fucking killing it out here. Like, fuck. Let's go. I am on a roll. Somebody said Gary's on a roll. That's right. Let's keep it moving.
Okay.
What's up, Gary?
What's
Holy
good, Alexis?
shit, man. I'm fucking nervous, man.
Don't worry, bro. We're friends.
Like, shaking and everything. I've been watching you for like 3 years, dude. Damn. Can't even get the nerves in check right now.
Where do you live?
Naples, Florida, actually.
I love it.
My wife is watching. My mom is probably watching too. So what's up, guys?
Awesome.
They know this is like a really big deal to me, man. Like I said, I've been watching you for like 3 years, and damn, holy shit!
Don't worry, bro.
Trying to be a man here,
Bro, it doesn't take a man. A man owns his emotions. I'm a man out here talking about compassion, sympathy, kindness, and love. So I'm proud of you for talking about your nerves. I'm unbelievable. I just want you to hear this clear. You can't imagine how nice that makes me feel. I'm super flattered.
Awesome. I'm so glad, man.
It's humbling.
Like, you really do change people's lives, dude. Like, I'm sure you know, but like, it's like to a whole different level. So,
thank you, bro.
I started watching you like 3 years ago, actually. I was like in tech school. To give you kind of a quick backstory, I'm trying to be as quick as I can. I'm 22. I'm married. I've been married for like 3 years. I just had a baby, in January.
Congrats.
So, I'm pretty fulfilled in that sense. You know what I'm saying? But, I'm aspiring. One thing I've always loved to do since I've been 13 is make YouTube videos. Just because I have had rough patches in my life when I was younger, and watching people on YouTube, entertaining people, that's always been I'm wow, it's always made me feel good. So I've always I want to do that for people too. And my thing is I love cars. I like racing. I like building race cars and shit. So I have a YouTube channel that it's been up for 4 years, but I've been so inconsistent. I upload and then I delete it because I think the videos aren't good enough. Just really negative. And then that's when I started watching you. Actually, like I said, 3 years ago, I was in tech school. And I think I really went to tech school too because of I was I need to make a normal life out of myself. I was already engaged, about to get married. I'm I need a real career, this and that. But then I started watching you and I'm man, I'm a piece of shit. I'm just doing this because, I think that's what I need, but it really doesn't make
Just for clarity, as long as if there's some new people watching, that's slang term in our world of like, we're doing it the wrong way. I think a lot of times when some of the Jersey jargon comes out of my mouth, like, I don't want people to like think we're demonizing here. Like, it just means like there's more opportunity. So keep going.
Right. Yeah. Like I was like, I'm doing all this, I feel like, for other people, you know, because like I was like the bad kid growing up, man. I'm telling you, I was like the black sheep of the family, you know, like I was bad behaved, like terrible grades in school. I'd throw my report card away before, you know, I gave it to my mom. Oh shit, my phone.
Bro, I literally flushed down the toilet my report card all the time.
Dude.
It was a funny game between me and my mom. She knew,
Sorry.
but I was trying to buy, you know, it was because I would always get punished for usually a month, but my mom would let me off after 2 weeks. So it was always trying to buy an extra weekend before.
Dude,
it's so funny.
Of course, man. Like I was just like, you know, I basically like I feel like I went to tech school and I did all that just to prove myself and, you know, just kind of be like, you know, I'm not as bad as people think, you know, especially when your family says you're bad. It's like kind of rough to deal with that, you know?
It's extremely difficult.
So
and it's really tough.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I graduated with a 4.0, which I know in tech school is like it's only a year and a half, so it's not like too big of a deal.
Bro,
but I tried my best.
Don't undermine your success.
Yeah, I know. Just some people, like, I'm sure, like, oh, that's not that hard. But
the biggest issue out of your mouth is the word "some people."
Yeah.
Bro, you have to stop giving a fuck about these people in the comments and the ones that are watching.
Yeah, that's true. No, and that's
ready for this? Let me tell you about my life. Some people thought business, what like selling sports cards as a teenager, was going to lead to me being a bum because I got bad grades.
Right.
Those some people were wrong.
Yeah, they were definitely wrong. I mean,
some people are right, some people are wrong, but value, like, I always listen very carefully. And just like you hedging the 4.0 based on some people is the biggest thing we need to work on the next 91 years of your life. You've gone, you know, like that's where you're at. We got to fix that.
Yeah.
And when I say fix that, that feels too heavy. You need to get into a better relationship with that.
Right.
Everyone's always going to have an opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's 100% true. Everyone always has something to say. And it's
I thought Patrick Mahomes was not going to be a good quarterback.
Right.
I don't know how much you follow football. It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but guess what? He's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like, that was, like, all that basically just to kind of lead up to, you know, what I think about myself, like, in the sense of, so, like, I'm a very negative person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a negative Nancy kind of guy. Like, literally, I wake up in the morning.
You're cynical. Like, you wake up and you're cynical.
Yes. Like, I wake up and I'm like, what can go wrong today? You know, because I've tried so hard.
You're ready for this? You're not a negative person. You're a scared person.
I could definitely.
Alexis, that's a big difference, bro.
Yeah.
For all the people out there that are watching that are scared and fear-based and vulnerable, you're not negative. Don't demonize yourself. You're actually vulnerable. You're not negative, bro.
I didn't think about it like that, actually. I never thought about it.
That's why we're fucking doing tea with Gary Vee.
Yes. That's why I'm glad to be on here, because I needed to hear this.
And let me tell you why this is important, Alexis. If you all of a sudden when you wake up tomorrow and you realize you're not a negative, when somebody thinks they're a negative person, that's devastating.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm bad. No, you're not bad. You're hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it was something that happened to me, you know, when I was younger or something, you know, it just kind of like sets that, you know, where it's like, what's going to happen today, you know, like, it's such a bad, but like, I feel like that affects me with everything I do, because like, when I'm making YouTube videos or like when I'm doing stuff like that, I'm kind of like, you know, like, oh, this is going to be trash. Like, this isn't good enough. Like, you know, and just like, I don't know, I put myself down a lot, and I'm just like, my original question actually is nothing with what I'm talking about, you know?
Bro, this is the real shit. And like, we're here. I'm with you right now. I like this talk right now. I really, really, really like this talk right now. I think you're helping over the next 10 years, because a lot of people watch this video, not when we record it. You're about to help a lot of people. I can see in the comments. You literally just helped a lot of people just in that one moment. So let's keep going. Yeah. I'm telling you that your self-esteem is vulnerable because, to your point, you said it earlier, when your family tells you you're not good, you believe that shit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I think
we need to get out of that.
I know. And that's why, like,
does your family still say that?
I honestly, so like, as soon as I started watching your videos, and I know you say not to do this as much, but like, I feel like, you know, I just tried to cut out negative people out of my life and just isolate myself. Like, I do this a lot. Even like, I've actually never had any long-term friends. Like, I've never had a friend that I can be like, oh, I've been best friends with this guy for a long time. I think my best friend right now, I would guess, is like, I've known him for like a year. You know what I'm saying? Because like, as soon as like someone does something that I feel like makes me feel negative, I just kind of like isolate myself and I push everyone away. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course, because you're emotionally soft.
Yeah, I can see that.
And your Mendoza line for cutting someone off is super low. Like for me, my Mendoza line's super high. Like you have to really, really, really go somewhere. And I've had a lot of things done to me. I had a friend in college who stole my Sega Genesis, and I still was friends with him after I found out.
Holy shit!
Because I knew he was at a bad spot to do that to me. I was in a rugged college, but other people I know cut people off because they said something.
Right.
Like the reason you don't have long-term friendships is because of your own lack of self-esteem and your inability to rise above when somebody goes low.
Right. And that was going to be kind of
these are, keep going.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, that was going to be my thing. Like I said, I've been watching for a long time, and I know, like, you know, actually, I was worse than that, to be honest. Like, watching you has made me better, like, you know, more confident in myself and more, like, you know, I can deal with that kind of stuff more. But I feel like it takes a long time, too, because even in 3 years of watching you, like, I'm still not where I want to be, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm still, you know, not, like, mentally where I want to be and just stop being so negative. And I wish, and every time something good happens in my life, I'm always like, okay, what's going to happen now? Like, you can ask my wife, like, I don't get excited when good things happen because I automatically think something bad's going to happen right after.
Bro, I live with this. My father's got a lot of these similar traits, bro.
Holy shit. So,
I understand you.
Is there any way, like, I can, you know, like, get better at that? You know, like...
Of course. You just said you got better the last 3 years.
Yeah, I feel like I have. Like, I feel like I've gotten better at, like, stop fearing about what other people think about me. That's, like, a big thing for me. Like, I've gotten way better at that.
You know, you see how you've got some muscle?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Oh, yeah, I worked out, played football in high school. Yeah.
That's how you do this.
Yeah.
Listening to positivity, owning your shortcomings, accept that, you know, the reason I'm talking with such candor here, you know, I'm sure some people are watching like, damn, Gary's like exposing his shit. I'm not doing that.
I mean, I like it. I love it. It's awesome.
Because it's empowering when you own your shortcomings. Yeah. I don't want to say that I thought it's a silly one, but I don't want to say that I thought Patrick Mahomes was going to throw too many picks to be a good quarterback. He might end up being the best quarterback in football history if he keeps going on this pace. Like, you know, but if you can't own your fucking shortcomings, well, then you can't talk about your strengths. Bro, I actually, you know, what I think is keeping me here with you is my deep belief that you're on your way, because it's about awareness. Like the fact that you have the strength to come on here with all these people watching and talk to me like this actually makes me believe that you're well on your way, because I know a lot of people who don't.
Yeah. I'm just like trying to, like, you know, like, it's such a bad thing in my life that, like, it's like a mental block for everything I do, that it's like, man, I need to stop doing this. Like, I realize, like, I'm so, you know, and like just trying to, like, you know, stop doing it.
You need to realize that you're not bad. You grew up being told you were bad and you believed it. You need to realize you're not bad. You're scared.
Right.
The second you go from I'm a bad guy, I'm a tough guy, I'm a negative guy, to I'm a soft guy, I'm a vulnerable guy, I'm emotionally, like, not where I need to be guy, all of a sudden the way you even look at yourself changes, and then you could start focusing on building those muscles on that.
Yeah.
You know, do you get this feeling that you don't you cut people off because you don't feel like you get into this place where you feel like they're pulling one off on you and you don't like that feeling?
Yes. Like, I always think somebody has an angle. Every time someone's nice to me, I'm like, okay, what's your angle, dude? Like, what do you want from me? You know what I'm saying?
Did you feel that way about me the first time you saw the content potentially? Like, what's going to be the other shoe? Like, is he going to try to sell me a course, or what's the fucking punchline?
Actually.
Or do you not remember?
Surprisingly, I feel like I didn't, just because, like, you know, like, you were so honest that I feel like you wouldn't be the type to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were just being, like, straight up, like, authentic and honest, and, like,
so it worked for you. Okay, so
it really did.
I think, and maybe that's because I was remote and through screen instead of real life.
Possibly.
You know, look, I think you need to. Here's where I'm trying to get you to go. You need to get into a totally different place with your self-esteem. You need to love yourself. That's why the biggest moment of this talk was you're not negative, you're just vulnerable. That was the biggest moment. Because when you wake up and you're like, I'm scared today.
Right.
And I need to get less scared today. That is huge, huge compared to waking up and saying, I'm negative. I'm a bad guy. That's a game changer, Alexis. That's a game changer.
Yeah. It's like hard though. Like I try to. I really, really like there's a lot of times where I'm like, okay, like just stop thinking like that, you know, like you got this.
No,
you know?
it's you have to understand, it's ingrained in you. So what you need to do is practice. What do I mean by that? This one friend you've got right now for a year, the first time he does something that doesn't pop off properly, you have to like email me or DM me or watch this video game. You have to forgive him.
Right. Yeah. Not hold grudges.
Bro, grudges are garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grudges are fucking garbage. Grudges are the execution of a weak man.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. It makes you just, you know, makes your life quality go down when you hold grudges because you can't just hold a grudge against everyone.
Is your wife positive?
Yes, she's like the complete opposite of me.
Yeah,
but like I feel like I try to keep her down though. Like I'm that bad that like
you do.
I try to bring her.
You're not that bad. You're not that bad, bro. I'm telling you right now, if we change the terminology in your life, shit will get good. You're not that bad. You're that weak. You're that scared. You're that soft.
I totally agree with you, honestly. Like,
no, it's big. I want to change your vernacular because if you do, you'll be a different man.
Yeah.
It's that when you're most scared, you try to bring her down to your level.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. That's why when you say you talk about like haters, you know, like trying to bring other people down, I'm that guy.
Do you find yourself like being jealous if like another guy looks at her? Like, are you trying to like cage her?
No, not like that actually.
Okay.
Like I'm not like bad like that, but I'm bad in the sense of like when she's like trying to be happy for me for something that I accomplished or positive, or she's positive about something.
Don't do that because something's gonna happen and then I'm gonna let you down and that's gonna make you feel.
Like that's 100%. My fear to like let my son down, let her down. Like I'm always like in that.
Bro, listen to me. The only thing that you can do to let them down is by continuing down the path of thinking that you're bad.
Right. Yeah. No. I can't. I don't want him to grow up like that. You know, like being like me. Like I don't want.
Of course you don't. But let me tell you, because I've watched this transpire. Because I'm old for 44. I got some real fucking emotional wisdom. What's going to end up happening is if your child or children end up having similar DNA to you, you're going to feel so bad that you're going to actually resent them and have like a worse like you'll have a good relationship with the children that take your wife's DNA, and you'll have a bad relationship with the children that take your DNA because it's going to be painful to you because you're going to be like, fuck, I passed that on to her or him, so I'm out.
No,
you can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm really proud of you to be at this place at this young of an age, to be self-aware enough to know what's brewing and to have the courage to come on here and talk to me about this shit. That's game-changing. You're close. When I tell you you're close, because the only thing that holds people back is hiding shit.
Right.
And right now, you just told tens of thousands of people about your shit.
Yeah, it's just like that bad, dude. That like I'm like I have to tell someone that actually like, you know, because like I tell other people, like my wife. When I say other people, I mean like my wife, and like, you know, she's just like, I feel like maybe hearing it from her is not as good because I'm like, of course you're just gonna try to like, you know, bring me up and make me feel better because I'm your husband, you know. So of course, like I feel like her answer is not as genuine, maybe, but it probably is. I just automatically think that.
Yeah, listen, you default into the angle, the conspiracy. You must love conspiracy fucking documentaries. Like, that's like, you know, like that's where you're at.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting in the theme of this show is now you know why you're the one that looks at other things and tries to tear people down.
Yeah.
It's all the same game. I really believe as we go through this period of time in American history specifically, and really in the world, where hate and negativity have definitely risen.
100%.
I believe that we're going to get into mental health issues and get into, you know, parenting structures and like, and what I'm really worried about is that a lot of people that think they're kind and good people are actually shaming people instead of trying to help.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Of course you do. You're on the receiving end of that.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like, holy shit, dude, I didn't even think about it like how you were saying it, like maybe I've just, gotta, I think I gotta like work on it more, like on a daily basis and just exercise it more, I'm trying to change that because, damn, like I didn't even think about it. I don't know. I didn't think about it like I'm scared of stuff, I just thought about it like I'm just negative, and like I just don't like people that much, and this and that. But
no, you don't like yourself.
Yeah, no, that's probably.
You don't like yourself.
I really don't like how I am. Like I hate that mindset that I have.
That's right, but the good news is you can fix it. I didn't like that I didn't have muscles and and I was not healthy for my heart and like I was gonna and I changed it. And when I tell you working out and eating right did not come natural to me at all.
Right. So
I changed. I figured it out. I got a babysitter, a trainer, and I figured out the system. You just have to figure out your system.
Right.
Maybe you have to listen to positivity on podcasts 24 hours a day.
That's right, dude.
For
I
5
listen
years.
to you every single day, all the time.
And other people too. And I appreciate it, but and maybe bro, you have to watch this video every day.
Yeah. No, I probably will, dude. This is the biggest moment ever. I told my wife this is top 5 best things in my life.
Bro, you are just perfectly cliche in so many of your actions. I see so many young people who have this framework get married early as soon as they find somebody super positive.
Yeah.
You
it's
thirst.
I didn't even realize it. Yeah,
that's right.
For
you thirst for her.
Yeah. I tell her all the time. I'm like, I wish I could be like you. I wish I could just think everything's gonna be fine. And I always tell her that because it's just such a good,
and instead of making it selfish and say, I wish I could be like you, maybe what you can do is make it a compliment. You're making it about yourself when you say that to her.
Oh shit! I didn't think
what you might want to change that to, and this is where semantics of words matter. Maybe you say to her, "What's her name?"
Noemi.
Noemi?
Yeah.
Noemi, I admire your optimism and positivity. Now all of a sudden you're giving her a compliment because when you say to her, "I wish that I could be like you," she's not taking that as a compliment. She sees that as you being selfish about what you wish. You're about you in that sentence.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm saying I wish I was, Yeah.
And what and what you're doing is you're subconsciously again saying, "Hey, feel bad for me."
Right.
Instead of propping her up, you're asking her for another hand. There's a subconscious guilt of you got lucky with DNA, I didn't. Yeah. And what's going to happen with her is she's going to build resentment for you over time.
Right. No, I agree 100% with that. Yeah.
Bro, I really, really believe in you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I don't normally talk about this with anyone. Normally, I try, I said, only with her. But I was like, man, Gary Vee's the perfect person to just put this on, and just see, what his response would be to this. I've been trying to talk to you for the longest time, dude. I'm telling you, 3 years, I would DM you all the time. When you came out with this messaging service, I'd message you and stuff, You actually responded, 6 months ago. You were like, hey, what's up? Because I was like, I hope you see this, and then you responded back to it, and I was like, fuck yeah, I saved it, So,
Alexis, I swear to God, on everything in my body, I genuinely think you can win this game.
Thank you, man. I really, it's life-changing to hear that from you. You know what I'm saying? It's
Bro, please realize that you are wounded, you're hurt, you're not bad, you're good with an injury.
Right. Yeah, I just didn't realize that. I didn't think about it. I didn't, I guess, it's because I'm young, too, so it kind of, you don't think about that stuff, and now I'm like, damn, that's probably what it is. Maybe something happened to me, it just kind of,
yeah, listen, and by the way, I don't think usually it's more of a systematic, culture. It's very likely that one of your parents is exactly the same way. And instead of resenting your parent, you can feel bad for them too.
Right.
You can have compassion for them. Instead of now going into a place of you know what? Fuck you, Mom. Gary Vee's right. Fuck you. No. Yeah. You can go into a place of compassion because it's likely that her mom did that or your dad's dad did that. Or you understand?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah.
So it's important that you realize you need to realize that you're strong enough to change it for everyone.
Right.
Digging in and drawing a line and making it a fight is going to do nothing.
Yeah. And you think like also like what you surround yourself with also kind of affects you too? Kind of
100%.
Right? Yeah.
Of course I believe that. It's why I fucking work so hard to put out so much free content.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a positive force for people that aren't fortunate enough to have something. And I have a unique communication style and a human element that clicks for some people that because I think they can taste the lack of interest of anything other than like I'm not looking for anything.
I agree 100%. That's what I said. When I first started watching your videos, I didn't think like you had an angle after. Like I was like, holy shit, this guy's like, and I think it's because you call people on their bullshit, you know? And like, that's why I said, like,
you know what's funny? I hear that a lot from people and they like that. You know what's funny? I think even the tone of this conversation, I just want to help.
Right. Yeah. And that's like, you know, you always preach that and it really does like work. That's why I said, like, you do change. Like I said, even in 3 years, I feel like I have gotten better. You know, maybe I've gotten worse actually at that I isolate people, like myself from people more, but I have gotten better in the sense of like, you know, now like with YouTube and like other stuff like that, I'm more confident that I will be able to make that work. You know, like that's like my thing that I'm like.
You need to realize that those people aren't bad or have an angle. It's that you're scared because you're not emotionally strong to be let down.
Yeah,
you're cutting them out to protect yourself. The way to really win, quote unquote, is for you to get comfortable with being let down and realizing that's not a reflection of you.
Right. No, I agree with that. That's awesome. That's like what I needed to hear.
I'm glad I could deliver it, bro.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it, dude.
Lex, listen to me. Over the next year, 1 million people are going to watch this video. Just remember, that means that cutting people out or trolling someone or waking up, like you're not going to be able to live anymore tricking people. You're not tricking anyone anymore.
Right.
Use that as a positive.
Yeah. No, dude, trust me. I said, maybe like hearing it from you since like I've always looked up to you for a long time. And like, you know, like I said, in the last 3 years, I was like, you know, 19, 20, you know, 21. So like, I feel like I kind of grew up because, you know, like in those stages of life, you do grow up to a certain extent, you know, like, and I feel like watching you as like my role model has kind of like, you know, helped me a lot. So now I'm actually talking to you, which is still crazy. And listening to you say that, you know, my role model, it's like, holy shit, like, you know, yeah, I need to change. I need to do something. Like, I can't keep being like this. This is.
I'm telling you right now, what most excites me is I know you can.
Thank you so much.
If you knew the power and strength it took for you to be honest on this video, now living life and being okay with Ricky if he like steals your money or like says something bad about your wife and you being a bigger person, like you can't imagine now trying to forgive one of your parents or an uncle or some, you know, I don't want to dive too deep. It might be something even more extreme than just a negative atmosphere. It might be some real deep shit. Forgiveness is the fucking key to a whole new life.
Yeah. No, I haven't practiced that yet in my life. If, you know, like I haven't really, I'm not a forgiveful person, so maybe I should.
That comes out of your own insecurity.
Yeah.
Forgiveness and being the bigger person and kindness is the fucking ultimate strength.
Yeah. No, that's, yeah. I need to do it. I need to start doing it. I really do. I
believe you. I really think you can. That's why I'm 5 minutes late for a huge client meeting.
Oh my God, dude, I'm so sorry.
No. You're not. No. What I want you to hear is that the reason I'm this late is because I feel this moment so much. And I'm also super aware of how raw and real we went and how many hundreds of people right now watching are living your exact life. And this thing, I genuinely believe, is the seed of so much of the things that are anxious in our society. And I desperately want to be one of the forces to fucking help cut this thing out of our bodies.
Yeah. No, I mean, we need it. You know, like the people that are like me, like, you know, it's like...
Alexis, you have an Instagram?
Yes.
Because I want this community to DM you, encourage you, and I want you to make some positive friends. What's your What's
Thank
your
you so much.
Instagram?
It's Alexis Cisnero.
Just the way.
Just the way like my name is. And then underscore at the end.
Right after. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alexis.
Yeah, right there. Somebody found, or Dustin found it, I guess. That's awesome. Holy shit, that's fast.
All right, you're at 567, 568 now.
Oh, dude, thank you so much.
You like cars?
I love cars. That's been my passion since I was like 6 years old.
All right, 568. Vayner Nation. This would mean the world to me. I want to see this number completely fucking explode, and I want every one of you to DM this man something positive. Alexis, please.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much, Gary, man. Thank you so much.
Alexis, listen to me. Please do me one honor. Please listen to this whole entire thing. I think it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Often.
Okay. Thank you so much, man.
Like literally work out every morning and listen to this, or while you're brushing your teeth every morning. Morning. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much, dude. I will listen to it. I mean, trust me, this is like a huge deal to me. like I said, top 5 like life moments. It's
a huge deal for me too.
Thank you so much. Holy shit! Like, I honestly wasn't even gonna talk to you about this. Like, I was like, I had a whole different question, but then I was like talking to you, and I'm like, damn, like he's actually like as real as it gets, man. You know? So I was like, I'm just gonna lay it all out. You know? I was like,
Alexis, you helped more people today than most people ever get to help in their entire life. You're a good kid. You're not negative. You're not bad. You're mislabeled, bro.
You're gonna make me cry, dude. Like, holy shit, this is like...
Bro, you're mislabeled. You're mislabeling yourself to yourself.
Yeah.
You're a wonderful fucking human who has an injury, has a vulnerability, and has to completely address that and change the way you talk and think and practice that. You want a real prescription? Go reach out to everybody in your phone. Go to your phone right now and look at from A to Z and text people and say you're sorry and I love you.
Damn. Yeah.
That takes real strength.
Yeah. There's some people that I'm like, dude, I would never even want to see this guy's name again. You know, like I don't know why. Like it's
because you're insecure.
Yeah. No,
when you do that, if you get the courage to do it, when they reply "fuck you," understand.
Yeah.
Compassion comes from enormous strength.
Thank you so much, man. Like I said, this moment right here, I think is definitely 100% life changing for me. This is definitely like I said, I've been doing better in these last 3 years, but I feel like this is like that boost that I need 100%. Thank you so much,
bro. I love you a lot.
So sorry.
Good luck.
Thank you so much, man. I love you too, dude.
Sorry for what?
Sorry for you being late. 10:09. I didn't even notice time.
This is the best 9 minutes late in my entire life. I'm so humbled to have this moment with you. What we just did here will forever bring value to human beings. I believe it in the depths of my fucking being.
Thank you, dude. That means the world to me, man. Honestly, it really means the world to me, dude. This is what I needed. Thank you so much, Gary.
You're welcome, brother.
Have a great day, man. Thank you, too.
Bye-bye. Dustin.
Very, very, very powerful.
That really matters, that last one, man.
Yeah. Like
that's the whole game. That right there is the whole game I see in the world.
I feel very similar. Like there's a lot of people in my world that I've kind of dropped, and I've wanted to reach out, but I'm just afraid that they're going to be like,
fuck you,
or like whatever, loser or something like that.
Bro,
and I just don't know how to handle that.
Don't do things for other people's reactions. Do them for you and for the karma. And even if they tell you fuck you, they'll always know where you stood. Because right now they think you stand with fuck you, and you might be doing a blessing for them because that may inspire them to do it for somebody else, even if they don't reply to you.
Yeah.
There's nothing more noble than I'm sorry. And if you can do it in audio or video where they can not lose the tone of the written word, it's even more powerful, man. Gus, you can do it. Bro, you're here with me now. Like, come on. You can do that. You should.
Yeah, you're right.
It's good. Putting out more good is good, you know? It's what we fucking need, man. It's time. We've gone too long with not making this the way we go. You're going to feel lighter.
I mean, I did start, like, I had someone sent me something to, like, make fun of someone, and I was like, I DM'd them, like, hey, someone sent this to me to, like, make fun of you, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I actually respect what you just put out, so I just want to say that, and any bad taste you have about me from the past, I just want to apologize for that, too. I mean, he didn't reply, but at least I just tried.
Dude,
so.
No, not tried. Executed. Yeah. You're not doing it for him to reply. You brought value to him, and you brought value to yourself. You won with that. I'm so proud of you, man. That's humongous.
Thanks.
Write down the list from fucking AA to ZZ in your address book. Write down the list.
A lot of people.
Listen, that means you were hurting.
Yeah.
I know you well enough to understand it. Do it. It's so nice to do. It's so good. You're a different man now.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow on Tea with Gary Vee. And the people that are going to win over the next 5 to 7 years are going to be very comfortable in controlled fucking chaos. You don't love the process. This is dreams we're talking about. Dreams require sacrifice. All of your actions have to then map to it. Backpack. Nobody gives a shit about where you grew up. The whole game is scaling the unscalable. It's fucking hard work. It's being respectful. It's being a good person. Do that. That's just a good idea. It's there. The flip game's there. This house right here, there's $400 to be in. I stay in my lane. Like real fucking tight. But you can't be crippled. Everybody here is judging themselves. You're looking at what's in front of you right now. You're losing because you're laying in your bed looking at somebody's fucking glamorous photoshopped picture of them doing something cool, and you're envious, and you're jealous, and you're impatient, and it's crippling your upside. Let me just say it one more time if you're confused what I just said. I say put your fucking flag on the ground of who the fuck you are. Whoever provides the most value always wins. You're entering the greatest 5-year window of your life. My only answer to me or anybody, like, it's just like, try shit. Shut your business down and go work for an apparel company for 3 years. Nobody you've ever met got there without the hard work. So you better get your speed up. You better work harder. You better work smarter. If you can't Google stuff, you're not going to be able to do anything that I'm telling you to do. Gary Vee TV, my new account. Check me out. Hope you enjoy it.